Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Dr. Rob here, our fourth podcast episode. Today, we have a dear friend here, a guest that you all know. She's a celebrity, a successful entrepreneur, a successful businesswoman, mother, and wife. None only than Miss Gladys Reyes.
Yay! Thank you, Doc
Thank
Rob.
you,
I'm
thank
glad to
you.
be here, and thank you that I am your fourth episode.
Yes.
I'm your fourth guest. And sobrang naman yung introduction ni, thank you for that amazing introduction, Doc. Pero sobrang naman yung successful
I
businesswoman.
can go on and on.
Well, no. But thank you for that, Doc. We're still in the process of, about the business and all. So, thank you for that.
Of course. This has got to be a little bit unique for you because usually you're the one interviewing
Yeah,
and,
I know, but I'm
and
excited.
initiating the conversation.
Yes, but I'm excited,
Yeah.
just bring it on, Doc.
Yeah, so I thought, well, let's start, at the beginning a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. I know that you were a child star, right?
Correct,
Everybody knows that. I really don't know the story
Yes.
about that. So maybe just share a little bit how
Okay.
that got going for you.
On behalf of those who haven't heard about how I started in the show business, I started when I was 6 years old.
Wow.
And then I joined this contest in Itbulaga called Little Miss Philippines. And unfortunately, I didn't win as Little Miss Philippines, but I was one of the runner-ups. Like, I was the Little Miss Metro Manila. But even so, I was called by Viva Films, Viva at that time, owned by, until now, Boss Vic Del Rosario.
Right.
And that time, Tita Mina, his wife, was still alive. So they were like looking for a child who's gonna be the daughter of Miss Vilma Santos
I
in
know
a
that.
movie.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, it was my first something like screen test because they haven't seen me in any movies. They haven't seen me in any TV shows. So I was
And
like,
how old were you then?
fresh. I was six.
6. Wow.
Yes. So I went there, and then I was introduced to Boss Vic and Boss Mina at that time. And then they were like, okay, because my talent that time in Little Miss, I was acting, I was really already acting. I was crying, and then I was doing this long dialogues and all. So they wanted me to attend my very first acting workshop. Under Direct Marilu Diaz-Abaya. Direct Marilu Diaz-Abaya is one of our one of the multi-awarded directors, here in the Philippines. And unfortunately, she already passed away. But I really learned a lot from her.
Mm-hmm.
So like in that acting workshop, I didn't know that my classmates would be Miss Sharon Cuneta,
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah,
Philip Salvador,
yeah.
of course, these great actors of the Philippines, And then there was this one exercise in the workshop where actually the story of the movie Baby China, that was the title of the movie. So Miss Vilma Santos is the star for all seasons, right? So she was in a jail, something like that, and then my part would be just in the ending, wherein she would go out of the jail because she was already released, and then she would just, she misses me so much, so she would just kiss me and hug me, something like that. So in one of the exercises, Direct Marilu Diaz-Abaya shouted, Rambol! She didn't instruct me anything. She didn't tell me what to do. So nothing, as in I was clueless. So as a 6-year-old, my initial reaction was, when she shouted Rumble, everyone's like fighting, shouting to each other, and then, because it's like inside the jail. So that was the exercise. They knew what's gonna happen, but I was the only one who didn't know. So I was like, so I cried. I cried because of course there's a chaos and all. So I guess that was really the intention. She wanted to see, okay, what's this kid is gonna do when I shouted, when I screamed Rumble. And then aside from that, she also taught me about the eye contact, when acting, that you really have to look at your co-stars, when talking to him, saying your dialogue, and everything. So I was like, okay, it was a good experience. That was my very first acting workshop. And then from that first movie that I had just had the one scene, right? I just had one scene on that. I was called again, but this time it's a full-length role.
Wow.
Okay, but still with the star for all seasons, Miss Vilma Santos again. This time another role na I'm again the daughter of Miss Vilma Santos, but this time I have more days of shooting. So this is opposite Mr. Dindo Fernando, one of the great actors also here in the Philippines, who already passed away. With Miss Lorna Tolentino, Grand Slam Queen, and the other, best actresses and actors of all time. So I was really blessed, to have worked with these actors at a very young age.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was obviously like 6 and 7 and 8. You're working
correct.
consistently.
6,
right?
7, 8,
9, 10, 11,
and then
12.
I also became the daughter of this action stars. Also, movies in Viva pa rin, So I was the daughter of Philip Salvador, the daughter of Ronnie Ricketts. So I got my first award nomination when I was, I think, 8 or 9 years old, because of the movie that I've worked with at TV, which was the Muling Buksan ng Puso, where I had the first full-length role, right? So, though I didn't win, but, for me, it was something that, at least I was noticed with that, right? So, and then after that, of course, there was this called awkward age, okay? Awkward stage.
We all have them, yeah.
Yeah, so they didn't know the time, what are we going to do with her? Are we going to give her a love team, or
she's so
no?
young.
But she's so young, so it's really awkward. And that time, I think I wasn't even in That's Entertainment at that time, so that's where I really concentrated with my studies. So my father said, of course, even when I started young in the business, I didn't stop my schooling. I didn't do the homeschooling or whatsoever. I was really going to school, just a normal kid that I go to school every day, even though sometimes our shooting finishes late, right? But the next day I would go to school, and I'm really active with our declamation, the other activities in school. And I would say I'm an average student, but I'm proud to say that from grade 1 to grade 6, I'm always in section 1. Wow. That time, section, right? In section 1, 2. So, of course, I'm just really grateful that I had those teachers who were very considerate, and even my classmates who would know that the time they already knew that I was already an actress.
Yeah.
And then when I concentrated, I focused on my studies. That's what my parents always tell me, most especially my father. I won't say that I was really the sole breadwinner, and at that time, I wasn't really I wasn't really a breadwinner, because of course, parang how much lang yung talent fee namin that time, no? It wasn't really that big. Correct. Maliit lang, di ba? Siyempre, hindi pa naman ako parang kilala talaga noon. Of course, sa Viva, they know that I'm always the daughter of Pilma Santos, ganyan, always the yung acting talaga, di ba? Yung nag-acting. But, financially, hindi naman talaga. Because my father used to work in a door-to-door business. So I would say,
didn't feel that pressure of
correct. So I would say that we were ano man tawag doon, yung middle class family. We belong in the middle class family. And my father was really hardworking. So it was my mom who's always with me. Was always with me that time. Correct. When I do the shootings, taping, something like that. And then
but let me ask you this. Like during this time, in year 7, 8, and 9,
correct.
Were you aware though, like that you were like kind of like this prodigy? Like you could act so well. I mean, most kids cannot do something like that. So at the time, do you realize it? Or do you just think
well, that time,
normal?
Doc, I just know that I love what I was doing. So I wasn't like an ordinary child that who goes out, and play, hide and seek and play tag with their playmates. I was really a homebody.
But did your mom notice something in you, and that's why she put you in that thing at 6?
I think so, yeah. Because I used to play with my dolls, and then I would role play. So sometimes I would do this voice like I'm the mom, and then the other, I'm the daughter, and then I'm the dad, something like that. So I really love acting, even at a very young age.
So they saw that. There's a saying like someone's born to be a star, and it seems like you were born to be a star.
Well, I don't want to.
You're like a prodigy when it comes to that. I would say you might not say that because you're very humble, but most people cannot do what you do.
But probably, Doc, the thing about acting, maybe it's innate, right? I was born with that already.
You're so good at being able to act and cry, and it's so sincere and genuine.
Probably that's just my goal. Every time I do a scene, or I'm doing a character, So my goal is just the people should feel what I feel, right?
But most people can't do that, so it's a applaud to you how you could do that at such a young age.
Thank you so much,
so
love.
amazing.
Thank you. But I just love what I do.
Yeah.
You know, probably at a very young age, this is really my passion.
Yeah.
I love acting. I love role playing, and then that's when Mara Clara came. You know, this is my first teleserye. It ran for 5 long years.
Wow.
So
and you were how old at this time?
That time I was only 14 years old.
Okay.
So after focusing on my studies and all, I was already in my high school when a call came, and then they wanted us, actually, me and Judy and Santos, they wanted us to go to this, you know, nowadays they call it go see, right?
Yeah.
They wanted to see you, they wanted to see if you fit the character. And that time, they already told us, okay, Mara, the project is Mara Clara. Only we didn't know who's gonna be Mara, who's gonna be Clara. So they were like, there's a screen, and then they gave us this short acting piece. And then I remember it's like someone is accusing me of stealing, you know, stealing. So they wanted to see how I will approach that, you know, what's my style of that acting, of that particular acting piece. So of course, Judy and Santos went like, okay, she was really crying, or like a faucet. We call that, you know, Judy is like automatic. Yeah. When it's drama, she's really
so
crying. Yeah, she's really good at it. And then I thought that, I think, yes, I was 14 or 13, turning 14. I was like, okay, when I read the short script, I was like, okay, I want it to be different.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna approach this as it has to be, you know, I'm showing a brave face, and at the same time that I didn't do anything. So I was like, huh? Bakit? Bakit? Porke ba mahirap kami?
Yeah.
But I was crying. So I was defending myself, and I was crying. Yeah. And then from that moment, they said, okay, I know it's gonna be Mara, it's gonna be Clara. And probably because of my face also, you know, I have these sharp features, my sharp facial features, that even though I don't talk, I just do that. And they would know, okay, she's the villain.
Yeah. See, of course, so I mean, that proves like you were just really mature for your age to be able to recognize that. I know a lot of 13-year-olds that couldn't do that and say, okay, I want to go from a different angle, right? Most young kids aren't thinking like that.
Yeah,
So
but
it's really
that time,
amazing.
Doc, I wasn't really thinking that.
Yeah, but
right?
you did it.
Yeah.
It's very
I
cool.
guess.
So tell me about when you met your husband. I know that was also when you were quite young.
I met my husband through that teleserye, Mara Clara.
So you were 14.
I was 14, he was 12.
Oh my goodness.
So actually when he arrived, well, I saw him, oh, he's so cute naman. Kasi Christopher is half French, right? His dad is French, and then mom is Filipina, and then he's the eldest of his siblings. And when he arrived, actually he came from this commercials, right? And if I'm not mistaken, that's his first soap opera, his first teleserye. So they're like, but I know he's really young because, you know, well, he looks young, but and then they were like, okay, teasing him because that time they were pairing him with Judy Ann. So they were like, okay, and then I was just okay because he looks so young, so he's so young. Until one day, Judy Ann told me, you know what? Because his character name, Christopher's character name in Mara Clara was Reyes. So he was, and of course I was Clara. So he was like, you know what? Reyes has a crush on you. And I was, what? He's so young. Sabi ko naman ganyan. Huh? He's so young. Sabi ko pa. Tapos, and then, no, I think he has a crush on you. No, probably you're his crush. He has a crush on you. And then, until, of course, eventually, he courted me, and we were like, it's like childhood sweethearts, right?
Yeah.
Because we started young, but our parents, or my parents, were there to guide us, of course. Well, not really tolerate us, you know. They didn't tolerate. They were always there to guide us, and to make sure that whenever we go out, we're always with them, with my parents. You know what? They just allowed me to have a date with him alone when I was already 18.
Oh, okay.
Can you
So for
believe
like
that?
4 years, it was kind of, you had a chaperone.
Yes, always with a
'Cause it's
chaperone.
pretty young, yeah.
Sometimes we would go out in a resto, for example, we're gonna dine out, right? And then you thought that it was just the two of us. and then zoom out the cameras. They're there.
It's like a movie set. You got
they're on the other table. Yeah, my mom, my dad, even my siblings
Everyone's
are
watching.
there.
And they're watching you.
They're watching over us. So my dad has been very well supportive in a way, but of course he always tells us to be very, because we were very young at the time, right?
So he's probably being cautious, like
Of
take
course,
it slow.
of course, and to take it slow.
Because most of those things don't work out.
Correct.
A 14-year-old
And
crush.
another thing is because we have different religion.
That was I'm going to touch upon that. Yeah. Well, go ahead and continue with that. The religion.
So the religion thing, of course, our faith is a really big deal for us, right, in our family, because I was born in Iglesia ni Cristo.
So you were born.
Yes, our family is, and then they were like, okay, why don't you invite him to the church, something like that. And at first, of course, it wasn't easy, until probably I prayed for it. And then one day, Christopher came to me and then he was like, okay, I want to listen to your doctrine also.
Wow.
And he used to be a, how do you say that, sacristan. Pareho ba yun, te? Sa, yun din bang English nun? Yung sacristan. Oo.
What does that mean?
The assistant of the priest, something like that, right? Yeah. So he used to be a Catholic. And,
so he was very Catholic growing up.
Yes, growing up, and even his grandmother. So, well, I think that's why I call him an answered prayer.
Yeah.
Right? So because I prayed for it.
Yeah.
And until one day, without forcing him to attend our church service or even our doctrine Bible exposition. So he was the one who came to me.
So what age was that?
I'm sorry?
What age was that?
What age?
Was
okay.
ready to start
well,
to listen.
before that, he was saying, okay, maybe when I'm already 18, because I can decide for myself, and even though my for example, my family won't like it, well, they can't do anything about it because I'm already eating. But guess what? He was only 15 or 16 when he
so it was just after a couple years
when he converted.
When he was ready.
Yeah, when he was ready.
So obviously he was quite in love with you.
Well, probably it was just an instrument, being in love with me. To be able to convert to our church. So I'm just grateful to God that He answered my prayer.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, congratulations, you guys just celebrated your 32nd wedding anniversary.
Yes, Doc.
Amazing.
32nd year of togetherness, not 32nd year of wedding anniversary, right, you guys? Yeah. Kasi yung iba are getting confused. What 32nd year of wedding anniversary? How old were they when they started? So, no, 32nd year of togetherness because we started when we were childhood sweethearts. So, like what I said, probably he was 13 and I was 15. We met when he was 12 and I was 14. So, well, of course, it wasn't an easy journey, right?
Of course,
Everyone is every couple is unique.
Of course.
We have gone through these trials or challenges in our relationship that, thank God, we were able to surpass it.
Yeah, it's not easy, right?
It wasn't.
But when you have God at the center, it makes it doable.
When they ask me what's the secret, I think it's not a secret, but for me it's a really big factor that you have the same faith.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big the biggest factor in a relationship. We have the same faith. We have this thinking that, okay, when things are not always going your way, and then you have these arguments and all, or sometimes even bigger than that, even bigger arguments, you would go back to, okay, let's take it so and sit down. Even you say something to him that sometimes it's hurtful, right? So then you think about it, okay, let's go back to basic. And then think about that day that we have met and something like that. So that's why I thank God now we already celebrated our 32nd year and looking forward to more years together.
Yeah, another 32.
Oh,
plus.
hopefully.
Yes. So let's fast forward now. You've got 4 beautiful kids.
Thank you.
Correct?
Yes.
3 boys and 1 girl.
Correct.
Yes.
No. Galing ni Doc, naalala niya.
Yes. See, I know you. We've actually been
because all of us are your clients.
And you're all practice
all
members.
All of us are your
even
patients.
your mom comes and sees
Yes,
us.
of course. My mama Zenny. Yeah.
So I know it's obviously difficult raising kids, right? And you also have a superstar son, Christoph, right? So
he's just new in the business, actually. He hasn't been launched yet, but he's into music. Of course, his musicality, he got it from his dad. And I'm just really so happy about it. And also in UP, sophomore in UP.
Yeah. You got great kids, and he too looks like kind of he was born to be a star, right? Doesn't it seem like that? He too just has what it takes.
Actually, his stage presence, para it's more of a, he got it from me.
Yes,
Ang kapal na mukha eh.
that's very clear. So let me ask you this, like when you guys are around the dinner table and your kids are growing up, how much are you talking to them about these things, about, success or showbiz or what it is you want to be when you grow up?
It's not always in the, literally on the table, right, Doc? Sometimes
Or
we
in
have
the car while you're walking.
So whenever we have the chance to talk to our kids, we always instill to them the values, of course, and the important things like, for example, in studies, right? So that's one of the biggest regrets probably that I have because I wasn't able to finish my studies. I wanted to continue it if I have the time, but now there are ways like you can just attend online classes, right? And then as much as possible, we wanted to walk the talk. We wanted to practice what we preach, right? That's what we have to do as parents for our kids. And the most important thing is to be God-fearing. Because I believe, of course, if you are always, if they know how to pray, of course, they know how to talk to God, they'll never go wrong, whatever happens.
Yeah.
We cannot be with them 24/7, right? The whole day, even though we would tell them, okay, don't do this, don't do that. But eventually, if there are peers who's gonna, something like you call that a peer pressure, right?
Yeah, of course.
If they encounter that, they should know what to do in this kind of or in those kind of situation, right? So that's what we do. That's what we tell them, that to be more careful with the decisions in life,
Right.
that you don't want to regret it someday.
Yeah, I mean that's all we can do, right? We can just raise them and with God at the center, and hopefully they make those right decisions
Correct.
when those decision times come, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and like what I said, well, we also have to respect their individuality, right?
Right.
That's what we do also as a couple.
Yeah.
So he has his own thing. That's what we were talking about, right, off air a while ago. That Christopher has his own thing. I do my thing also.
Yeah.
I cannot force him most of the time. If, for example, I have this event and, Bebe, can you please come with me? But if he's not comfortable, I would respect that.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you're a lot like my wife, who's extremely hardworking.
I know,
You're
yeah,
so
I
hardworking,
know.
and
Yeah, I really admire Patricia for being hardworking. And
You have a
remember
lot of
when we saw each
similarities.
other sa awarding, and then I was like, "Oh, where's Doc Rob?" And then that time, I think he was he was busy, of course,
Yeah.
doing his thing also. So that's what I meant, like being husband and wife. Like for us, with 21 years of being husband and wife, you don't always do things together, right?
Yeah, of
Sabi
course.
ko nga, that's a good thing because you have something to talk about. At the
True,
end of the day, before you go to bed, oh, how was your day, bebe? Or how was your, okay naman, oh, how about you in the resto? How are you? Oh, kasi ganito. So you have something to talk about, right? So, ang boring naman kung magkasama pa rin kayo, pati doon sa mga events, attending together, right? So there are things that it's okay that you don't do it together, di ba?
Right.
But most of all, you have to respect each other. Kung ano yung what he enjoys most doing, as long as it won't to do any harm to your family and of course to your relationship, let him do his thing.
Yeah, I agree. So let's talk about. I see your videos and I love them about your hula hooping. Is that your main source of fitness, or are you doing other things? How did the hula hooping
Well,
begin?
actually, Doc, syempre, medyo I gained na nga, from last year because, well, I lost weight when my father died, right, in 2021. And
Yeah.
it was really, I think you also noticed it, right? When I visited you and you were like, oh, you're so, you were like, oh, you, but actually you told me, oh, you look fit. And, but actually, I had parang, hair loss at the time because of stress,
Yeah,
and I
it was
wasn't
really
able to
tough.
express grief, probably because I was too busy with work, and then after my father died, I had lots of things to do, and then I didn't have that moment to grieve, when my father died, and I guess okay, you look good outside, but it wasn't my best, or it wasn't my healthy condition that time. And of course, you would see it on my face. Kasi ako, when I lose weight, of course, you would see it on my face because I have this prominent jawline and all. So I look really, of course, my body okay, But you would see it on my face, I was so haggard, So, and I was like, okay, I really need to get out of this, Yeah, I look good, my body looks good, but I don't like what I see, and I don't like what I feel. So it is important na it's not always aesthetic,
Yeah.
You really have to feel healthy inside and out. So what I did was, of course, I eat right. So Christopher and I started fasting. So meaning we don't really eat breakfast, and then my first meal of the day usually starts 3 or 4 p.m.
It's like intermittent fasting.
Correct, intermittent fasting. And then it's like 6 and then 8, right? 6 and 8 hours, something like that. And I think it works for me because before, when I used to do small, frequent meals, I'm always hungry.
They're too
The
small.
more that I starve, I don't know. I can't understand why. I don't understand it why the more that I do that, small, frequent meals, I always eat this. The more that, I get hungry. So I told myself, I think something's wrong. It's not for everybody. So you have to find that,
True.
what really works on your body. And then, of course, I'm just grateful that Christopher also is, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to eating healthy, healthy lifestyle, I see it with him, right? So I always listen to him with, okay, you know what, you need to gain some weight because you look really haggard, you look ganyan. And then when I gain weight naman, bebe, you really have to, you really have to work on your, when I have this, braso na naman and all. Kasi when I gain weight, it's this I get here, not really here, or it's here. And of course, my hips. But, I do hula hoop, of course. My mom taught me that.
Yeah, she's usually your partner.
She's already 70 years old, imagine. So she was the one who taught me. At first, I was just saying in the video, okay? And then she was the one doing the hula hoop. And I was like, Ma, can I please try that? That if I can sing while doing the hula hoop. And then I did it. And then I enjoyed it. And eventually, it's like having fun while doing an exercise.
Yeah.
Because I always get bored when I go to the gym. I was like, okay, just take a picture. I'm in the gym.
Spending more time taking pictures.
Spending more time posting in the Instagram and the gym. But consistency, I think, is the key. Right?
Yeah. I mean, and hula hoops, like jumping rope, it's just kind of this constant movement of your body. So I think it's a great form of exercise. Yeah, it's not too hard on your knees.
I think to each his own.
Yeah,
so,
of course, if you love it. And then you make some music and you're making fun dance and your fans love it. So I think everyone loves it.
And also, I aspire also to inspire, right? Other people, of course, moms like me, that you don't always have to to go to the gym, to get a membership. Of course, it's really, you have to pay, right? So, in your own little way, you can do it at home also, So, if you don't have that budget to go to the gym, you can do, I just like what I thought, okay, invest in one hula hoop and you would see the difference.
Yeah. Well, that's great advice. Can we wrap this up with you giving some advice to a young person that is looking to have a successful life like yourself? What advice would you give them?
Well, Doc, for me, you always hear this, life is short, right? But for me, it's more of life is unpredictable. You'll never know what's gonna happen next, right? So now probably you'll see, okay, everything's going smooth, and then the next day, what? A friend of yours is dead, right? So it's really unpredictable. So make the most of it. Of course, create the best version of yourself as soon as possible because we really don't know kung hanggang kailan tayo dito, right? So, and also, let's try to eat healthy, to be healthy. Not just to look, great outside and then aesthetically you focus on your aesthetic. No, because you have to live long for your family, of course, for your kids, most especially. And if you wanted to see your grandkids as well, right?
Yes.
And lastly, of course, for to have a healthy relationship with God.
Yes.
That's it. And of course, please, I also have a vlog,
Oh,
Doc.
yes.
I'm now a vloggerist. Doc, I wanted to invite
Yes.
also your listeners,
Let's
your
talk about your
viewers.
vlog.
Yes, I am now a vloggery. So
Yay.
I know I'm a late bloomer in this world, vlogging world. But please, subscribe, like, and share. Wow, I'm really kilig when I say that.
Yes.
My
Hit the
on
like
my-
button.
Yeah, hit the
Share,
hit
subscribe.
the notification bell.
Yes.
So on my YouTube channel, it's called Gladys Reyes channel, but my show is called Glad to Be With You. You know that because
I
I
was a
invited you already,
Yes.
and Patricia. Please watch out for our episode with Doc Rob and Patricia. It's of course fun, and it's more of an inspiring show also.
Kwento.
Kwento,
Yeah.
yes. So I call them mga ka-Gen Z, not Zia. C because Generation Clara.
Ah.
Right. So glad to be with you on Gladys Reyes channel. Please subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell. Wow.
Awesome.
And Doc, upcoming, I have a teleserye, a new
New
teleserye
one.
on GMA. So I am just grateful to God that 2025 is really a blessing because I'm working on a new series with Vina Morales on GMA. So it's called Cruz versus Cruz.
Ooh.
So it's a story about two conflicting families. So please watch out for that.
How's
And-
your role there? Are you
Well,
a
I
villain?
cannot say yet, Doc, but probably they would say, oh, kontrabida na naman siya,
Yeah,
villain na naman siya.
always.
Well, it's for you to find out.
We'll see,
So
huh?
yeah, we'll
Coming
see.
soon.
Coming soon. And also, I'm doing now 2 Netflix films. Yes, and it's really exciting. You know, the other one is with Sue Ramirez. The other one, basta, it's a secret muna because I signed this confidentiality.
Wow, must be
so,
big time.
but masasabi ko lang doon sa second Netflix yun, Icons. So I'm with the Icons also.
Galing.
So please watch out for that. And thank you so much, Doc,
No,
for
thank
this.
you, Gladys. You know,
Yes.
we love you so much. You're a dear friend.
Ay, yes, anak ko.
you're
The
my-
feeling
my-
is mutual,
My
Doc.
favorite, ambassadors. There's no doubt about
Yeah,
it.
always started, when was that in moments?
I met you. 2015 is when we
Oh,
came. I
wow.
remember
Gusto
doing
na ako sa'yo.
moments. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember doing that. It's
Yes,
a great
of course.
interview.
And one of our
Yeah.
fun episodes as well, and very informative,
Yeah.
yung guesting ni Doc Sarah moments, because that time yata, if I'm not mistaken, that was the only time that people got aware of
Yeah,
Cairo,
it was the
right?
beginning.
Yeah.
You were one of the beginning. One of my very first celebrity clients that really helped me spread the chiropractic message. So that's why
Yay.
we're eternally grateful, and we're so thankful.
2015 to 2025, 10 years,
10
Doc!
years.
Happy
Oh,
one decade
yes.
of knowing
High
each
five.
other!
So thank you again, and I just can't wait to continue to be in your life, and continue blessings for us all, and continuing interviews together to share our life.
Of course, Doc,
All
diba?
right.
Thank you po!
Awesome. Thank you guys. See you next time. Hope you enjoyed our amazing show. Bye.
Yay!